going to tell us what's happening with this case. And also, my great friend, Dante Pointer. I went to law school with this gentleman right here, right down the block, over at UC Hastings. They have taken over the case, and note here, black and brown together! Put your hands up in the air! Black and brown together! Okay, and I pass it on to you, John.
Yeah, thank you. Well, first let me thank everybody for coming out. It's very, very important that there's a show of support and appreciation that when a wrong has taken place, that people stand up and say it's wrong. And be prepared to march, to talk, to gather, to do what's necessary to let the powers know that you're not going to accept this and stand for it. And so fortunately for me, I get to do it in a way that vindicate these rights by going to courts as a lawyer. I've been involved in many, many cases. I mentioned very recently down in Salinas where I'm down there with the 4 recent police shootings that have taken place down there, and a couple of kids around here in Oakland and Antioch very recently. But this case here has, with Alex, has struck a particular chord with us because the manner in which he died, being a peace-loving, good son, hard worker, trying to lead a decent life, to move his family along, and to suggest that he then engaged in the most ridiculous, outrageous conduct of pointing a stun gun or a taser at the police where they have guns drawn is insulting to everyone's intellect and it's offensive. And it's truly offensive to the memory of Alex, because all of you knew him would never do anything like that. And so we are here today. Mr. Pointer and I have filed a civil rights lawsuit in this building alleging that Alex's civil that Alex's civil rights were violated, and that his parents' civil rights were violated, and what we will seek to do is vindicate his interests, his good name, and to show through the evidence that the narrative put forth by the police was just flat out wrong.
Lie.
And easily a lie. It is all an effort to justify their conduct. Now, for all of you who've been around, you should know that's not surprising. That happens almost in every case. We looked at some of the records, and there have been a number of police shootings in San Francisco over the last 5 or 6 years. In every one of those cases, the police have said the shooting was justified, which means they were never wrong. That's impossible to believe. And we've been involved in a number of those cases. So what we've done is allege that we think we can prove that the narrative put forth by the police claiming that Alex engaged in certain conduct, such as pointing his taser at the officer, did not happen. And that there was no basis to shoot him, and they essentially shot him to pieces, I'm sorry to say. That his body was shot in such a way that it was substantially mutilated. He received well over 10 shots, and even though we have not received the pathology report, we did see the body, and we did in fact take photographs of it. And so we know what happened in terms of the number of shots. There may be other questions in terms of the angles and how those shots went into the body, but we feel very comfortable that 10 shots on Alex was an execution, and it was not justified by any facts or any conduct that he engaged in. So we're going to be here in this courthouse dealing with the legal issues that will be before us. We believe and think we can prove that his civil rights were violated, and that we're going to seek to do that through the various efforts. So far, we have not received any cooperation from the city and county, the police department. We do not know the names of the officers as of yet. which is surprising. We have not received the pathology report, which also is surprising. And in many ways, the lawsuit has to be filed in order to have a mechanism to get this information. Because if you didn't have the lawsuit to get the information, you may never get that information. You would always be out there because the police is not obligated to give it to you unless there's some legal process that will demand it. So we are very happy and fortunate and pleased that we're in a position to represent the family and to represent all of your interests, because what's going on in these days, the police are in various cities engaging in Wild West type conduct, and people are being killed under circumstances that are woefully unjustified. And the only way you can stop that, or at least control it, is that you have to sue them and you have to request some form of justice. You do that not only outside the courthouse, but inside the courthouse. So you're outside the courthouse until it's time to be there, and we'll be inside the courthouse asking all of you to come with us and join with us. All right, I'm going to give it to Adante.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming out today. As Mr. Burris said, my name is Adante Pointer. I'm an attorney with the firm, and I'm very proud and honored to have this opportunity to represent the Neito family in their search for justice. Justice and answers that they deserve. Justice and answers that have been denied to them in the community for far too long. In a city and in an area, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, technology, an instant city, if you will, where you can just pull out your smartphone and call a cab or Uber, pull out your smartphone and essentially solve most of your problems. How could it possibly be that we could be 4 to 5, 6 months later and we still don't have the basic questions answered? How can a police chief stand in front of us and claim legitimacy when he cannot tell us how many shots were fired by the men that he's charged with supervising? How is it that we, in this place, San Francisco, that likes to believe ourselves to be people who fight for people's civil rights, equality, and justice, allow this injustice to go on? There's no reason that the information that this family deserves as to how their son, our brother, our friend, our leader, our organizer, met his death there in Bernal Heights Park. There's just no reason that that story has not been told. That if you, the police department that is, if this was justified, why not be transparent? Why not open up your files and let us inspect it so that we could see that what you're saying is the truth?
Right.
Yeah. Right? If it's the truth, you have nothing to hide. However, through your efforts, and by your efforts, I mean the community's efforts, through our office's efforts, and we're a part of that community, we launched our own investigation. And we are here today because our investigation shows that what the police have said is simply not true.
Wow!
Now, this journey to justice will not be quick. This journey to justice will not be easy. It's going to take every single one of us to play our part. Like Mr. Burris said, we'll be in the courtroom. And one day, that day will come where we'll be looking for you all to be right there behind us, supporting us. And I know we can count on you all, right? Award for Alex! Thank you.
Thank you, my great friend Adante, man. It's a pleasure and an honor to know you and to know all of you here. Man, you're in my heart. You're in my heart. You are in my soul, gente. Okay, look, we've done a beautiful, unprecedented thing. We marched from the place where Alex was murdered. Over here, look at this building here. This represents the United States of America. Look at that. The Philip Burton Federal Building and United States Courthouse. What we did today has never been done. What we are doing right now has never been done because we have amor and justice in our hearts. And I ask you all to leave with that same amor and justice, okay? Let's say it all together. Amor! Amor! Justice! Justice! Amor! Amor! Justice! Justice! Amor! Amor! Justice! Justice! Now, gente, if you want to become more involved, please visit the justiceforalexnieto.org website. All right, spread the word, and also the Facebook page called Justice for Alex Nieto. We have over 3,000 members on that page. Yes, that's right. Okay, and so my love to you all. I look forward to knowing and seeing you all again in the very near future. This is the beginning of the fight, not the end. Adios, everyone. Adios.
Adios.